everybody. So I've been wearing kind of a more natural makeup look lately. I haven't been wearing foundation, and I'm finding that it's a little bit more difficult to match foundation for my skin for whatever reason, because I like it to match my chest, and my chest is not, it's not all one nice color, right? It's a little blotchy, it's pretty red. So if I have a full coverage foundation on, then it just doesn't really work. It doesn't look right. So anyways, I wanted to show you what I've been doing with the more natural makeup look. Revision Skincare is is what I've been using as my base, and I love this stuff. SPF 45, I know I've talked about it a lot, but it just is so beautiful, and the IntelliShade technology that it has in it just kind of blends into your skin. So there's one color for every skin tone, and it just kind of blends in. This also has a lot of really good like anti-aging stuff in it, so it's a good purchase. A little expensive, and I have to buy it from my dermatologist, but worth it, right? Right. Okay, so I have that on. So what I do is when I get out of the shower, I put my moisturizer on, and then I put this on. I get the matte of this. It does come in a original finish, I guess is what they call it, but I think the matte is better if you are even a little bit oily. I have a mirror down here I'm looking in, but I just think it's better. I like it better. I don't know. Okay, so then the next thing that I'm going to use is, let me find my concealer. So the next thing I'm going to do, I have a wet beauty blender here. So I am going to take the Maybelline Fit Me concealer. So this is in the shade 10, which oddly enough is darker than the shade 15. Yeah, it's weird, but I'm going to conceal a few areas with a darker concealer, and it's not darker than my skin tone necessarily, but it's things like this little blemish right here that I want to hide. And if I were to put a light or a lighter or concealer that I use for highlighting on it, it would just make it stand out. So we don't want to do that. So I'm just going to use this guy here. Just a few little spots, kind of some redness that I have under my nose. I like to do it here too, which I wouldn't do every day. So this look, you can kind of build it, I guess, build the coverage with your concealer to make it either, you know, a more, you know, makeup look or a more no makeup look. So this would be something that I would do if I wanted it to be more of a makeup look, like to fake having foundation on, basically. I'm just lightly patting that in, trying to just cover. The thing that I like about the Fit Me concealers is they're not like super heavy, but like this, they're not super high coverage either. So I have to add a little bit. And actually what I'm gonna do on this really red spot, if you have cystic acne, you feel my pain here, but I'm gonna use my finger, a clean finger, but the Beauty Blender does like soak up a little bit of the product. So using your finger can actually help things cover a little bit better. So that's better. Okay, the next thing I'm gonna do is conceal under my eyes real quick. So I got this Hey Honey Trick or Treat Under Eye Concealer in my Ipsy bag. What month is this? Maybe October, I think. I love it. So a couple of things that I really like about it. Number one, it covers my under eyes really well. And my under eyes aren't super dark, but you know, dark enough to where they need a little love. So it covers really well. Really well. It's really light. So like with the IT Cosmetics Bye Bye Under Eye, which is another really popular Bye Bye Under Eye. It's a really popular under eye concealer. So you can see it just kind of brightened everything there compared to this side, which I haven't done yet. But anyways, the IT Cosmetics one can be really thick. Like you really have to use the tiniest amount of it. Otherwise it just looks so like heavy and cakey under your eyes. This product does not do that. So it covers really well, but stays really light. So I really, really like that. What I'm also gonna do is put it on my eyelids as kind of an eyeshadow primer base kind of thing. Because I find that if I do that and just make that more of like a light base, then my eyeshadows just show more, I guess. So I don't have to use as much of them as I normally would. Sorry guys, the last few days, I love my family, but you know, can be taxing. Anyways, okay, so the next thing I'm gonna do is use my Maybelline Age Rewind in the color Fair. This is kind of my holy grail. I love this thing. I use it on clients. I want to buy stock in it. I love it. So you can already see how this is kind of starting to transform, but I'm going to use this kind of in this area and then under my eyes a little bit more to really counteract some of this redness. So putting it down the middle of my nose, my Cupid's bow, right here on my chin, and that is kind of like the highlighting portion, plus the stuff on my nose is going to cover up the redness. And then I'm going to do that under my eyes, and yeah, I think that's going to be good. So this right here is good if you have a small forehead because it kind of like highlights it and makes it a little bit bigger. If you go farther up, if you have a smaller forehead, mine is huge. I like basically have a 5 head. So I don't go up as far, but just kind of like brings everything up that you want to, while this stuff, we're gonna like, you'll see in a minute, we're gonna make it more contoured. So I'm gonna spray my Beauty Blender with my NYX setting spray. For whatever reason, I've kind of strayed away from using this on my face, but I think it's a really good tool to use on your Beauty Blender, especially if it starts to get a little bit dry, because if you spray it and then use it to work in your concealer, it's setting spray, so it's gonna help everything stay a little bit better. So here I go. So under the eyes, we wanna pop out those cheekbones, so we wanna kind of pull that highlight down a little bit. The Cupid's bow as well, right here on the chin. So again, that's why I used a lighter concealer for this and then a darker one to actually conceal, because we didn't want the bad stuff to show up as much, basically. So that definitely obviously was a game changer as far as coverage. So you can see it really does look like I have quite a bit of makeup on, and I really don't. So, okay, the next thing, get a drink here. I am going to take a couple different brushes. I'm gonna use this brush. This is an old e.l.f. brush. It's actually a foundation brush, which I don't really like this kind of foundation brush, but to each their own. Oh, I should show you this powder. So this is the e.l.f. Finishing Powder in Fair Light, and it comes in like a nice compact. It actually does have a little sponge, which I've not used. $5 or $6 I paid for this, but what I like about it is it does have a little bit of coverage, but it's really silky. Like, it's so finely milled. So especially if you have any fine lines, maybe you're starting to get some crow's feet, this is a good finishing powder. So I'm gonna use this brush to just go right under my eye, right on top of where we put that concealer, and then up here as well, because we wanna set that eyeshadow base. There, okay. So if you do, like if stuff starts to crease, kinda blend it in before you do this, because this, you don't wanna set the creases under that eye. Perfect. So for the rest of the face, I'm going to use this Real Techniques powder brush. I love this thing. So I'm just gonna kind of swirl it and pat. So you don't wanna buff because you don't wanna move the product around on your face, right? You wanna pat, set everything in place. So mostly everywhere that you put that concealer, I start to do just kind of my whole face because, I don't know, I just do. I like the way that it looks. So, like I said, I like to let a little bit of the imperfections here show through on my face. You can still see some spots, you can see some redness, but because it blends better with my chest when it's all said and done. So, that's just how I like it. Okay, let's do, sorry guys, I totally should have had my brushes over here before. I'm just getting a really up close and personal with my face. Okay. I'm gonna do my eyebrows. Still loving this e.l.f. in the color medium. So it comes with a powder and then a wax. Okay, let me open this and show you. It does come with a little brush, which is fine, but I use a different brush. So I'm gonna use this darker like wax color, especially like on the outer like 2/3 of my brows, and then use the powder here because you really want these to not be quite as dark as the tails. Just keeps things a little more natural. I'm roasting Brussels sprouts and cauliflower right now. I can smell it. It smells so good. I don't normally use an up-close mirror. I have one right here when I do my brows, but I think I might start because it's really easy and I can actually see. Okay. Now, the thing to remember about your eyebrows is that they are sisters, not twins. And that means that they're never going to be identical, right? So they're gonna look similar, have a similar vibe, but they will not be identical. So just keep that in mind. Don't like go crazy trying to make them perfect. Okay, so up at the front, I have that powder and I'm gonna go up because that is the way that the hair grows at the front. So just kind of go with the hair growth. Both sides, I'm gonna do that. Okay, so then I use this toothbrush. I never use this in my mouth for the record, but I am going to just kind of brush them up and out just to blend everything and make it look more natural. So there's some brows. They look really intense on camera. I don't feel like they look that intense in person. Crazy. Okay. So done with that. Oh, sorry. The brush that I used is just an e.l.f. It's actually there's no name on this. It's just a straight eyeliner brush actually, but I really like this for my brows. So just gives a really nice natural look. Okay. Then I'm gonna use my Morphe palette. I posted on my Instagram about this a while back. This is the 35N. I love this palette. So I'm gonna use, I think, this color down here, just for another little base on my eyes. Okay. And then I'm gonna take this little brush. I got this in my Ipsy bag too. Glamour Dolls. I love that it's rose gold. Obviously it's dirty. I need to clean it because I use it a lot. So I'm gonna take this little brownish mauvish color, whatever you want to call it. In these palettes, the colors don't have names, so they just get my description. So I'm gonna work that into the crease and just kind of up a little bit. The reason that I like this brush so much is that it really does get like deep into the crease. It's good blending. It's just the perfect little shape and size. So you can see that that like makes my eyes look a little bit more deep set. So then I'm gonna take, I think this kind of brownish color right here. Since it's a little bit darker, I'm gonna pat it just in the corner there and then kind of work it through the crease. So the other color would be my transition shade because I blended it up. This I'm just gonna pat and then blend, okay? Now, if I wanted to get a little more intense, I would take like a smaller, more stiff brush, I guess, and I would really work that dark color and maybe even add another darker color, but I really just want to kind of keep this a natural glam. So here we are. Okay, so next I'm gonna use a Tarte blush that I also got in my Ipsy bag. Ipsy is killing it right now. So this is in the color Quirky. So this is the Amazonian Clay blush. The reason I like this is because it's super pigmented and I don't know if it's the clay, I don't know what it is, but when you put it on, I feel like it really does just make it look like a natural rosy finish. Actually, I lied. I'm gonna do a little bit of contour really quickly. Sorry guys, I'm like not going in order here. Okay, this is a NYX Taupe blush and it's just really good for contouring if you have lighter skin. So I'm gonna do this first. The reason I like to do my contour first is because then you put everything else over it and it all kind of blends together. So I'm gonna take this, this is a Morphe, oh, what brush is this? There's not a number on it. It's a Morphe brush, but it's really stiff, really dense. So I'm just gonna take a little bit of this and I am gonna go right in here and just keep it kind of on the outside of my face and then just kind of bring the excess in. So I'm gonna do that on this side too, right in that hollow of your cheek, okay? So when you're doing contouring, you wanna be like at the top of the hollow and then you wanna blend it up, because if you blend it down, like down this way, you're gonna just make your face seem like it's dragging, okay? So you can see that kind of added a little definition there. Maybe need to add a little more right here. Ooh, there we go. Yeah, okay. And then I feel like when I contour my face like this, just running this Taupe blush right along that jawline totally like takes 10 pounds off. It's crazy. So just right on the bottom of that jawline. Okay, there's that. So now I'm gonna take just a little bit of the Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer. This is in the light color, just a tiny bit, and kind of work it up kind of on that contour, a little above that, and up onto the sides of my forehead. Like I said, I have a big forehead, so anything I can do to like conceal that is always good. So yeah, nothing crazy, just a little tiny bit. I'm gonna blend it under the jawline too. So there you have it. All right, now to the blush. Okay, just right on the apples of the cheeks and then back a little bit, because that kind of adds to that contouring. Perfect. Sometimes I'll even take my powder brush, just kind of blend all that together. The contour, bronzer, blush. There we go. Perfect. Like I said, it just gives a really beautiful natural finish. Okay, the next thing is highlighter. I've been loving this little e.l.f. highlighter in Moonlight Pearls. So I'm gonna take this more stiff eyeshadow brush, also from my Ipsy bag. It's So Susan. And I'm just gonna pop a little bit of this right under my brow. what that does is it actually just kind of gives you an instant facelift. So just kind of lifts everything up, right? A little tiny bit on the inner corner. I'm gonna call that good. I don't think I'm wearing any mascara today. I think I'm just gonna pump up the lashes. Okay, and then I'm just gonna take this angled e.l.f. brush, pop some on the tops of my cheeks. It's kind of easy to get carried away with this highlighter, so FYI. Ta-da! Okay, I'm gonna put some mascara on and do my hair, and then I will come back and show you guys the final look. Okay, so here is my finished look. Obviously I did my hair, so I look a little more put together. The mascara I used first, I used the Almay Get Up and Grow mascara. Sorry, you like really can't see that. Sorry guys. It's called Get Up and Grow. It's by Almay, so it's supposed to help eyelash growth. And then I used the Rimmel Shake It Fresh. So you shake it and it like refreshes the wand. I like to really layer, because I didn't use any eyeliner, remember, so I like to really layer my mascara with this look to make the lashes look, you know, voluminous. Yeah, that's the word I was thinking of. Anyways, hopefully this is helpful for you. I know this video is like 20 some odd minutes long, but I really can do it in about 10 minutes in the morning when I'm not having to talk or, you know, explain the process. So anyways, hopefully that's helpful. And yeah, here's to a beautiful natural holiday season.